students, welcome back to the next class. In our previous class we have done a problem related to X bar chart and R chart. Now we will go to the second problem, that is construct S bar and S chart. So in the previous class we had a combination of X bar and R chart, that is range chart. Now we are constructing two charts, that is X bar and S chart, and check whether the process is under statistically controlled. So we have to interpret our production process also. So here also there are K samples, that is 12 samples. So K value is equals to 12, and here in each sample we are having 4 values. So that means N value is equals to 4. In our previous problem, N value was 5. Here the N value is 4 and K is the number of samples, that is 12. So after getting K equals 12 and equals to 14, what we all have to calculate? First we want sample mean, right? Mean chart. For mean chart we have to calculate the sample mean. We have to calculate sample mean. For the given 4 observations, we will find the sample mean. So that is for mean chart. So how you will construct the mean chart? You have two cases, case 1 and case 2. Here also the standards are unknown, so we will estimate the standards. So we will be using the second case. In the second case we had two methods. First one is by using the range that we have done in the previous problem. Now we will be doing the second method, that is by using the sample standard deviation. The 3 sigma control limits for mean chart. Mean chart means that is X bar chart. So what are the 3 sigma control limits for mean chart? In our previous problem we took X double bar plus or minus A to R bar. If you are using range, you will get A to R bar. Now, anywhere for S chart, I will be calculating S values. So, I will use the second method. That is X double bar plus or minus A1 S bar. X double bar plus or minus A1 S bar. What is X double bar? X double bar equals to same formula, 1 by K summation I equals to 1 to K Xi bar. This is the grand mean. Grand mean or overall mean. So what is Xi bar? Xi bar is the ith sample mean. That means individual sample means. How we will calculate? Each sample is having n values. So 1 by n summation j equals to 1 to n Xij. So this is the ith sample mean. So by using this we will get X double bar. Next I want is S bar. So S bar means what? For the sample standard deviations you are finding the mean value. That is 1 by k, total k samples. So 1 by k summation I equals to 1 to k Si. So what is Si? Si is the sample standard deviation. Sample standard deviation. So what is standard deviation formula? Si equals to 1 by n under root 1 by n summation j equals to 1 to n Xij minus Xi bar whole square. So this is the standard deviation formula, that is under root 1 by n summation Xij minus Xi bar. So for each sample you have to calculate the standard deviations. So you have to find sample standard deviation. sample standard deviation, it is denoted with SI, and sample mean are denoted with SI bar. So write down the notations and next find out the sample mean and sample standard deviation values. So how we will find the mean value? Mean is nothing but the average of these four values. What are the four values we have? The first value is 1081 plus 363 plus 1092 plus 13885. The sum of observations divided by number of observations, that is 4, equals to 980.25. So this is the mean for the first sample. First you find the 980.25. This is the mean for the first sample. Similarly, I am finding the mean for the second sample. 528 plus 330 plus 1053 plus 945 divided by 4. So mean for the second sample is 528 plus 330 plus 1053 plus 1053 plus 945 divided by 4. You will get the mean value as 714. So the second mean value is 714. Now I will show you how to find the standard deviation. So standard deviation means root of, you can see the formula on the board, root of 1 by n summation xij minus xi bar. So first find out the under root value, then you can apply root to that answer. So first open two brackets. For the first one is for dividing the denominator. So in numerator what I am having? Xij minus xi bar whole square. That means the first value in the sample. What is the first value in the sample? 1081. First value, that is xij minus xi bar. That is first mean. What is the mean? 980.25 whole square. Summation, right? For each value we will be doing. Plus, open the bracket. What is the second value? 363 minus, what is the mean? 180.25 whole square plus, again the third value, 1092 minus 980.25 whole square plus, now the last value, 1385 minus 980.25 whole square. Numerator is finished. Now just close the bracket and divide with the n value. What is the n value? 4. So whatever the answer you are getting, find square root of that one. Square root of your answer. So answer is 376.64. So this is the standard deviation for the first sample, that is 376.64. I am rounding off it to two values. So I will get 376.65. So this is the standard deviation for the first sample. Now we will find the standard deviation for the second sample. I will show it for the two values remaining. You all try to calculate it. Next, 528 minus 714 whole square plus, what is the second value? 330 minus 714 whole square plus third value 1053 minus 714 whole square plus the last value 945 minus 714 whole square. Close the bracket, divided by 4. You will get the under root value. For this, find the square root of the answer. You will get the second answer as 295.945. So I am rounding out to 2 digits, so I get 295.95. So this is the finding of the sample mean and sample standard deviation. For the similarly, you will find the sample mean and sample deviation, standard deviation for the remaining samples also. So similarly, I have found the answers for the remaining sample means and the remaining sample standard deviation. For all the 12 samples, it is the same procedure. First find the sample mean correctly, because sample standard deviation, whatever this formula, in that we are using the value of sample mean. So if your mean value is correct, then only you will get the standard deviation values also correct. Now next you find out the x double bar value. X double bar is 1 by k. That is, what is the k value? 12. So 1 by 12 into, what is the summation of xi bar? 1086 865.4. So this is x double bar. Find out the x double bar answer. Next you want s bar. So s bar equals to 1 by k, that is 1 by 12 summation of xi. What are xi summation? 2261.56. Now find the answers for this. 865.4 divided by 12, you will get the answer as 905.45. So this is the answer for x double bar, that is 905.45. Next, similarly find s bar also. So s bar is 2261.56 divided by 12, you will get 188.46. So write down the value of s bar also, 188.46. So these are the values for the mean chart, x double bar and s bar. Next, these values you will be substituting in the control limits. For control limits, you have x double bar value and s bar value also. But you want A1 value, right? So A1 value can be found by using the SQC tables. I'll show the table. I'll be sending you this table also, so that it will be easy for you to do the problems. So same table which I have shown in the previous class. So first you have to select your n value, that is 4. In the third row you have the n equals to 4. So you want A1 value, right? A1 is here. So here A1 corresponding to fourth sample, A1 value is 1.88. If you observe, for the fourth sample, A1 value is 1.88. So consider the A1 value as 1.88. What is the A1 value? 1.88. Now find out the control limits. Now UCL of x bar chart equals to x double bar plus A1 into s bar. What is x double bar value? 905.45 plus, what is A1 value? We have seen from the table as 1.88 into s bar value is 188.46. So this will be your UCL value. LCL means how you write? LCL of x bar equals to, in place of plus, you will be doing the minus. That means 905.45 minus 1.88 into 188.46. So in the calculator itself, while doing the LCL, you can edit it by putting plus, exchanging plus with the minus. No need to type again the values in the calculator. First you put plus, second you put minus. Next is CL of x bar equals to nothing but x double bar equals to 905.45. Now find UCL value. Take your calculators and calculate the UCL value as, you will get it as, the answer is 1244.6. So UCL is 1244.6. Now in the same way, in place of plus, you write minus so that you'll get LCL value as 566.92. Now we have got UCL, LCL and CL values. Now construct the chart for the mean chart. So mean chart, on the x-axis you will be taking the sample number, 12 samples we will be taking 12. And in the y-axis, see the values. You have all the big values, right? You have up to 1006 also. And you have to check the UCL also, you have 1244. So here on your y-axis, your value should be at least some 1250 or 1300. So if you take the scale as 100 on the y-axis, then it will be easy for you. Now we will draw the chart for the x-bar chart. Now coming to the control chart, that is construction of control chart, drawing the chart. On the x-axis, we will represent the sample number. On the y-axis, we represent the sample mean. So here, if you observe, on the y-axis only we will be plotting the sample mean values and UCL, LCL values, right? So this case should be taken very carefully. Now if you observe, in this the least value is 700 and the LCL value, if you observe, it is 566. So your values may be starting from 500, around 500. So that's why I am considering the origin as 0,450. I am considering origin as 0,450 and taking the scale as 50 on the y-axis. Because I want the values up to the largest value, that is maximum value 1244. That is near to 1250. So I want the maximum value up to 1250. So that's why I am taking the scale on x-axis as usual, that is 1 centimeter equals to 1 unit, and on the y-axis I am taking the scale as 50 units. 1 centimeter equals to 50 units, and starting my origin at 0,450 because below 500 we don't have any values. If I keep drawing from 0 to 1200, then my y-axis will be very big. Because to avoid that one, I am starting my origin at 0,450. Now start plotting the UCL, CL and LCL values. What is the first one we need to plot? UCL. What is the UCL value? 1244.6. That means very near to 1244 means near to 1250, right? So at that place you draw a horizontal dotted line and represent here UCL equals to 1263, 1244.2. So this is the UCL. Next CL, what is the CL value? 905. But that means near to 900. You draw a dark horizontal line and write here CL equals to 905.45. So this is the CL. Next coming to the LCL. What is the LCL value? 566. That is near to 550. You draw a horizontal dotted line and represent here LCL equals to 566.22. 566.22. So this is the UCL, CL and LCL values. After plotting these values, you start plotting the sample mean values. Since it is a mean chart, you have to plot the mean values. Corresponding to first sample, what is the first mean? 980. So first sample 980. You plot the first part. Then the second sample, the mean is 740. For the second sample, the mean is 740. So you plot these points and join them. For the third sample, plot the point and join them. For the fourth sample, plot the point and join them. If you keep joining each and every point simultaneously, it will be easy for you. If you put all the points and start joining the points, you may be missing any value. So that's why keep joining the points simultaneously. The next value also you plot it. You can use any representation. You can just put an into or you can make a round also. It depends on you. For easy understanding, I am drawing the rounds also. So join all the points, you will get the graph for the mean chart. So this is the X bar chart. Now what is the interpretation we are going to do? What can we conclude from this? If you observe, all the sample mean values whatever we have plotted that are below UCL and above LCL. Therefore, all points are below UCL and above LCL. Therefore, process is controlled. So here the process is controlled for the mean chart. Now we have to check whether the process is controlled for the S chart, that is standard deviation chart. If both are controlled, then only the process is statistically controlled. Now we'll next move on to the second chart, that is standard deviation chart. Now we will start the construction of control limits for S chart. So in S chart, we need to write the control limits, right? So first the 3 sigma control limits for S chart. So what are the 3 sigma control limits? Here also we will use the case 2 because the standards are unknown. So in case 2, the 3 sigma control limits are UCL of S chart equals to B4 S bar and CL equals to S bar and LCL equals to B3 S bar. Same like range chart, the B3 value also will be 0. There the D3 value will be 0, right? Here also for the sample size less than 5, the B3 values will be 0 and we want the B4 value. So coming to the B4 value, I will show you the table. So here the sample size is 4 and coming to the B4 value. If you observe here, B4 value is 2.226 and beside only you have B3 values also. All are 0. The first 4 values, that is up to the sample size n equals to 5, B3 value is 0. So we have seen our B4 and B3 values. B4 value as 2.266 and B3 value is 0. So substitute B4 and B3 values in the required UCL, CL and LCL. We will get the control limits. First coming to the UCL. UCL is B4 into S bar. So B4, that is 2.266 into X bar. We already got it in the construction of mean chart only, that is 188.46. So 2.266 into 188.46 equals to 427.05. 427.05. So this is the UCL value. And coming to the CL, CL is nothing but S bar. So S bar value is 188.46. LCL V3 into S bar. V3 value is 0. So LCL value is also equals to 0. So same like range chart only. Here also we will get the LCL on the x-axis itself. Now we will see the graph for the S chart. Now coming to the S chart, this is the graph for the S chart. S chart, if you observe the values, UCL is highest, that is 427, and here also you don't have any values above 400. All the values are up to 370, 380 only. So last value I can write up to 450, and the least value is 0, that is on x-axis only we will be drawing the LCL value. Now plot the UCL value. First UCL value is 427. So it is near to, in between 400 and 450. The UCL equals to 427.05. I have to write here. Next coming to the CL, it is 188, that is near to 200. You will be writing here that is CL equals to XY plane. So first, coming to the first sample, what is the value? 376. So it is near to 400, right? So 376 plot here, and the second value is 295. That is near to 300. Plot a value and join those two values. Similarly, the third value is 346. That is near to 350. Plot the point and join this one. Next one, the fourth sample value is 119. That is near to 100. Plot it and join. So similarly, you plot the values and simultaneously join the values of all the 12 samples. After that, and one thing, here I am starting my origin with 0, 50 because no values are less than 50. That's why I am starting the origin with 0, 50. Now coming to the interpretation, what can I write the interpretation? Here all values, all the sample points, all the sample points are below UCL and above LCL. So if all points are below UCL and above LCL, that indicates that the process is under control. Process is under control. So if we observe here the mean chart, whatever the mean chart we have constructed, that mean chart and also the standard deviation chart, both the charts are under control. So in the interpretation, what we will write? Interpretation, we will write it as final conclusion. Therefore, the X bar chart and the S chart both are under control. So therefore, the production process is statistically under control. Be careful while writing the conclusions because mostly the conclusions are only the main important thing. So what are the steps here? First we will calculate sample mean and sample standard deviations. After finding these two values, we will find the control limits for mean chart and draw a chart for it and conclude it, interpret it. Next you will draw you will set the control limits for S chart and draw the chart for the S chart, then you will interpret it. After seeing the both interpretations, that is mean chart and S chart, we conclude that the process is statistically under control. So this is all for today's class. If you have any doubt, please make a note of it. We will discuss it in our doubt session. We'll meet in the next class.